back in ever so slightly different point. It's actually a millimeter or two away from the previous one. So I was feeling that was also charged. It's coming right up this arm. Here I am going to slightly move the chopstick because I really want to shift this little spot here. So first of all, I'm going to just... You can see how much he's enjoying that. Then I'm going to come a little bit higher just to see if there's something right in there. And then join them. Because remember too, this part of the little finger can also contribute through here to that upper, I call it the upper little finger band because it's coming, but it's also coming from the side of the little finger to a certain extent, okay? And I'm definitely picking up, he's got a lot going on the side of his little finger. So like I said, the further down the band I come, the bigger the movements. But again, his skin is not particularly moist, so I'm trying to avoid too much sliding on the skin because with drier skin, that's gonna feel like a cutting feeling. Sometimes I actually use this like an ink quill and I'll have like a tiny bit of moisturizer and I'll just dip the tip of it in and then I can slide more. Okay, and then we're going to come through here. All right. Now I just want to, so we're getting a bit better side to side movement than we were before. But I haven't done much on this side yet. So I want to do that now. Notice how the subtle changes in the angle. It's kind of like a laser beam or something that you're kind of finding any little tiny bit that's still holding out. Because I don't need to do that as long because, but notice the difference. See, that point's getting less charged. You can see it's, oh yeah, a little bit there. I come to the second point because I haven't worked this one yet, like, woo, you know? So big difference between these 2 points, whereas normally before this one would have been the more sensitive. So I'm just gonna let him catch a breath a bit. So like I say, always pay attention to the breath. And don't rush it. So I'm just easing him into that. This is a new spot. So just really. So I'm coming back now to come in between the two little, there's so much going on. I'm just holding that, and again, letting him breathe into it. So really both paying attention to what I'm doing here and his breath. Here I am going to slightly slide across the skin. Not too deep because it does, but just to push some of that. You can feel it as like crunchy, almost like grains of sand by now. So it's a little bit different than the very tip. You can actually sometimes feel it even here. But again, I'm going to notice the angle and then bringing his awareness to his tension. So it's so crunchy in here. So again, just trying to break that up. I'm just going to hold that spot. And again, I'm supporting opposite with my thumb, right? So I got something to push against. Notice what I'm doing now is I'm holding the chopstick steady and I'm slightly rolling. And he's enjoying that. Look, we could debate the word enjoyment, okay, you know? Oh, and I just moved it like that and we got a click. Yeah.
So when you say that Joe and Eve's holding angers in general, what else the fingers and toes? Like I know that.
Yeah, I you know, it's hard for me to say exactly what the little finger's holding. It's a bit more varied, I find, with the hands. It can be a bit of everything. Yeah, that's what I found. It's sort of, yeah. And even with all the other stuff I've mentioned, like the hips holding it, at the same time, it could be different on a different person, but that's what I mostly experience. There's certain things I really see consistently or relatively, and there's certain ones I don't see as much. And some people have, you know, anger or emotional releases from, you know. To me, there's some major stuff happening in this little finger, but I don't know exactly what it is, you know, for him. Whether it's physical, you know, whether it's just from, I don't know. We'll probably soon find out. It is moving and his breath is good, so that's all we can ask for, you know. So I'm going to again come in here a bit deeper this time. And you can see that's the maximum I can do because he's starting to pull away, but not quite. It's a 9.9 kind of thing. Would you say that's a 9.9 if you can speak? Yeah, he's like, you know. Yeah, he's too busy in his own world enjoying it to talk about numbers. The main thing is he's appreciating it. So again, a bit of this sideways with the thing and a bit of this just to mix it up, make it like a nice curry with different flavors. See, I have a good sense of humor, you know what I mean?
You did volunteer.
Dude! Yes. Yeah. I mean, you work with people's pain all day, and yet I find most deep tissue therapists have a fucking fucked up sense of humor, actually. but a good one, you know. So we're getting there. There's a lot of, you know, resistance and whatever, you know. So then we're just caressing through here. And see, he liked that word. Nothing like a nice relaxing massage, is there? Yeah. That's my motto, by the way. After somebody's had an exorcism or whatever, yeah? Nothing like a nice relaxing massage. And he's getting quite good at expressing himself too, which is nice. He's not like a silent achiever or, you know, what you guys are talking about with, you know, sometimes maybe New Zealand men are a bit reserved or whatever. Like, maybe a little bit, but he's doing quite well. I'm going to come back in here now, which was my original one, and just see how we go. Coming in a bit deeper, actually. So notice that I'm coming in quite a bit deeper than I was before. I'm just going to hold that. Because you can see he's getting in the mood, he's getting in the spirit of the whole thing, and just, you know, breathing deeply and just letting things move. And I think he's doing really well. So he definitely feels like a green light to me, you know? And because he's got quite a high pain threshold, I can work him really deeply, which means we're going to get a lot better results. But as I say, I'm spending a lot of my time on the ends of these bands, right? That's something I really want to emphasize to you. Do not rush. Because we're working at our max. He's working at his maximum, you know? And I'm working then within that range. And I think his maximum is quite high. Just going to ease that off for a second. Let's let him catch up with his breath. It's often good to work in like a wave-like formation, okay? So instead of keeping somebody at like if that's their 10, keeping them at a 9.9 for extended periods of time, the person just eventually, they kind of, you know, and, you know, the breath cycle as well is more like that, like a wave. So even with keeping, you know, 9.9, yes, 7, 9.9, 7, 5, 3, 9.9, you know? Don't keep them at a 9.9. Like and as a beginner, I'm not saying you guys should work people at a 9.9. I do, because I want to get maximum results, and I can sense where that 9.9 is, you know? You could build up to it though. But not as a beginner. It's too close. If you don't know what you're doing, don't mess around, you know? Okay, now let's see how we're getting some better range of motion. So now what I'm going to do is just give him a rest from the chopstick. But you can see it's not the chopstick itself that's hurting him. It's his tension, because even with my thumb, it's still quite intense for him. So again, supporting the joint below it. So if I'm doing this joint, I'm supporting it below, and I'm doing it a bit more of a vigorous movement. And again, as beginners, you're gonna maybe, you know, not quite as vigorous as what I'm doing it, you know. But then I'm gonna come in here and squeeze and do this. And then just check in with him. Hey, Richard, how you feeling? See? Bit of laughter helps, you know, the medicine go down, you know? Plus, you got to enjoy your work. Now I'm going to just let him have a little breath, and do a bit of... Laughter
release can be a form of emotional release as well. Okay, breathing. You can see he's totally happy now, right? Look, there you go. What was he going to do?